have some big breaking news coming in on the same issue that you have been talking about, the occasion of the 45 years of the emergency. The Congress leader, now Milind Deora, has now tweeted against his own party. Deora has said, and I quote, that the emergency reminds us that democracies, when tested, fight back resiliently. This also applies to political parties, democratic organizations, adapt better and overcome challenges as well. Democracy is a constant work in progress requiring commitment, sacrifice and honest introspection as well. In fact, this comes after RPN Singh, who has also spoken out against the party high command. And now we have another leader of the Congress, Milind Deora, who has just now tweeted against his own party.
Yeah,
in fact, we are joined by Niranjan, who's also on the phone line. So, Niranjan, another party leader of the Congress coming out and speaking out against its own party on the occasion of the 45 years of emergency.
Yeah, so I was just mentioning Milind Deora. In fact, I was mentioning his tweet when you read out the details of what he has tweeted. And Milind Deora is somebody I was saying that he's been speaking out. Most often, many senior leaders are also upset because it's always been the young guard versus the old guard battle in the Congress party. Now, look at the second line of his tweet. He says this also applies. He talks about the emergency, talking about how it reminds us as Indians that democracies, when tested, fight back resiliently. He says this also applies to political parties. Democratic organizations adapt better and overcome challenges. Now, he's talking about political parties and democracy. Now, in the Congress party, for the longest time, and it's a known fact that you can't speak your mind, and there is only one way. That is the Gandhi way or the highway. And I think he's that's what he's saying. He's saying to his party that democracies, when tested, fight back. It applies to political parties. Democratic organizations adapt better, overcome challenges. He says democracy is constant work in progress, requiring commitment, sacrifice, and honest introspection. Now, this is the second leader. There were also details of how RPN Singh, a CWC permanent invitee, a senior leader of the Congress party, RPN Singh, who's been a minister in the UPA government. It's now widely reported about how RPN Singh also within the party suggested that his party must ensure, given the situation at the line of actual control, he said the party must ensure that criticism of Modi on the Chinese incursion was not personal. In fact, that was also an observation of how many in the Congress party feel that the party may have gone overboard. You'll also see that several opposition parties are questioning the Congress for the kind of stand they've taken on the India-China face-off at the line of actual control. There has been dissent within the Congress party. Some leaders feel that the entire line of the attack is wrong. For example, when it's common knowledge that for many decades now the Chinese PLA has been trying to grab land, and even the UPA admitted that 38,000 square kilometers of Indian land was usurped by the Chinese PLA. And this was admitted by the Congress party as recent as in 2012 in a parliament response. Now, all of this is common knowledge. And then you go on Twitter and ask questions like, has China grabbed our land? And then goes on to attack the Prime Minister again and again. So many within the party have spoken out on this. And they've also faced the wrath of the family, to say, because there are reports about how Rahul Gandhi flew into a rage when RPN Singh suggested that the attack and the criticism must not be personal. And we also know what happened in Mumbai when another spokesperson of the Congress party, his name is Sanjay Jha, and he's been a spokesperson for over a decade now, trying to defend his party on the most controversial aspects, controversial issues. And even in the course of the scams, somebody who was defending his party, but he was removed as a spokesperson barely a day or two after he put out an article critical of his party, saying that his party must be open to criticism, must be more democratic, and must be open to change. Wasn't taken well. So now these are some of the references that Milind Deora is trying to point at while saying that and it's ironic, isn't it? Because the emergency was imposed by the Congress party. And Milind Deora, congressman, saying that the emergency reminds us. He says the emergency reminds us that democracies, when tested, fight back resiliently. And this has been the longest debate within the Congress party of how and when, and if at all, anytime in the future, the young guard will get their due. Because you look at a state like Rajasthan, where Sachin Pilot and Gehlot battle has been on for many for many years now. And then in the state of Madhya Pradesh, there was a similar battle between Scindia and Kamal Nath. Scindia, of course, drafted his own path. And for the longest time, people like Milind have been speaking out against what has been happening within the party. But for all you know, there'll be action taken against dissent because the last time someone spoke out in Maharashtra, which was a spokesperson, he was removed as a spokesperson on the signature and approval of the Congress Party interim president Sonia Gandhi. So I think it's very critical that this comment has come. Barely days after RPN Singh spoke of how the party must change its line, its entire commentary, and the line of attack on the government and the Prime Minister, saying don't make it personal. Something similar that the party has done in the past as well on many such instances. So, yes, I think this is very, very significant. Let's see where the story goes, because we've had different tweets coming from different political parties about the emergency and the 45th anniversary. And the fact that a congressman has also tweeted about the emergency, saying we must learn from it, I think is a big embarrassment for the Congress. Must learn from it. I'm handing it back to you.
Absolutely. And this is what was also in a way raised by Home Minister Amit Shah also, who came down heavily on the Congress, saying that the interests of the family always prevailed over the party and the national interest for them, and questioned why the emergency mindset still remained in the opposition party as well. And we are now seeing how a Congress leader, Milind Deora, has also tweeted against its own party and stating, and I quote, that the emergency reminds us that democracy is when tested, fight back resiliently. This also applies to political parties. Democratic organizations adapt better and overcome challenges. Democracy is a constant work in progress, requiring commitment, sacrifice, as well as honest introspection. We also have my colleagues Anuj as well as Tejinder joining us at this point. We'll go across to Tejinder first. So, Tejinder, we have another Congress leader now, in a way speaking out openly against his own party on the occasion of the 45th anniversary of the emergency in our country. In a way, we are seeing that there has been a constant infighting within the party between the old guard and the new guard. We saw how the Prime Minister and Home Minister have spoken out and in a way saluting the fight as well as the valor shown by the people at that time. Take us through what is the mindset of the leaders in the Congress party at this point.
A house of cards. We saw what is happening in the Congress party. If you remember, just a couple of weeks ago, Jyotiraditya Scindia, one of the stalwarts of the Congress party, he left the Congress party to join BJP. He was very perturbed about the working of Congress party, where only one family of the Vadra Gandhi family was ruling the roost, and they were dictating their terms to the entire party men. The entire nation today knows that the emergency was imposed just to make sure that one family remains in power throughout their life. But that did not happen, though the emergency had to be rolled back. But there were many people who made their sacrifices, who were tortured, who were jailed, just in order to ensure that emergency is revoked from the country. But Indira Gandhi imposed emergency 45 years ago. 45 years have passed. We know that today Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, and everybody else is paying their homage, paying their respect to those leaders, those fighters. This was like a second fight for India's freedom, because emergency was imposed just to ensure that one family remains in power. And today, as I just mentioned, that Congress party is falling apart like a house of cards. The Congress leadership, even from within the party, we heard how the Congress leader RPN Singh spoke against the party, and now Milind Deora has also tweeted against the emergency that was imposed. This is again a direct attack to the Congress party, though Congress party tries to, they have been trying to save their face, but the reality is that people within the Congress party, they are fed up with one family ruling the party, ruling the country. So though the people in the country, they have voted the one family out of power, but now there is the people within the Congress party, though they are unable to speak openly against the party, the one family, the Vadra Gandhi family, but they still want, the people in the Congress party, they want that that new leaders, more talented leaders should be given a chance. They should be given the chance to lead the party. We have seen what has happened to the grand old party. They lost the position of the leader of opposition in the house. So this is the status of the Congress party, from a party that once ruled the country for a good period of time to a party which is unable to secure the status of for their opposition leader in the Lok Sabha. So clearly the Congress party needs to introspect, but the reality is that until and unless they don't appoint or elect a president outside a particular family, the Congress party will remain in disarray. You know, the people who are more talented, they are leaving the party. We saw it happening with Jyotiraditya Scindia. There are also fictions in various parts where the Congress party is ruling. But yes, the Congress party is falling apart like a house of cards. Yes, Richa.